What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So we're back with another video where we are going to be playing through the Super Evolution Nami Island once again. However, I wanted to use a character that I just pulled in the recent Sugo Fest video. If you guys have not seen that yet, I highly suggest going ahead to check that one out. That was, it ended up being pretty good, so hopefully you guys check that one out. But the team that we're going to be using today is Shirahoshi Manshерry. Now, Shirahoshi Manshерry, unfortunately, no one of my friends has one, or even if they do, they don't have it as a captain, which is understandable because they're not the best captain in the game. But I definitely just wanted to try them out and see how they go. So we're going to be using the Bandai friend captain here, but you know, I really wanted to try them out just because I pulled them and see how they go, right? Now, the Super Evolution Nami Island is a little bit tricky, but we'll see how the Shirahoshi Manshерry goes. Oh, no, Shirahoshi. Yeah, Shirahoshi Manshерry. I always get the names mixed up all the time, but this might not be the optimal team for it, but hey, I calced it, and I think it should work. We'll see how we go. In terms of subunits, right, we've got the Kung Fu Luffy as a type booster. He's a 2-turn type booster, so if we get the Super Evolved Boss, we get 2 turns of attack boost. Same thing with Vivi. She is a 2-turn orb booster for our team, so that's the reason for that. We've got Perospero, who has double special activation, so we can get multiple turns of that as well. And we've got Nami here to remove paralysis on the final stage, as well as her sailor ability to remove it if we get the Super Evolved Boss. And of course, you know, when we reach stage 6 against Carrot, I have a feeling that we can just stall our way through it. Just stall the way through the debuffs because of the healing mechanics that we have as captains. So I guess without further ado, let's just jump into it. Unfortunately, as I said, you know, we are using the Bandai friend captain, which means we will have to stall for their special ability. We don't really want to be using their special ability until we reach the final stage. If we end up getting the better, or if we end up getting the unsuper evolved, the boss is the not super evolved one, we can use both of their specials in the same turn to get the 3.5 captains for both of them. If we do get the boss that is super evolved, then we can use one special ability on one turn, the next special ability on the second turn, so we get the better captain on both turns. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I don't actually know how much healing do we even get from these characters as a captain. Let's have a look here and see how much healing we get. 729, that's actually pretty good. Oh, we're binding Dex, that's not good. For 5 turns. Oh, that is really not good. Okay, I really should have just KO'd that guy right there. So what happens if we use Manshерry? Do we get a bit more healing? Let's have a look. We're actually going to make sure we can kill these guys here. Perfect. Okay, that actually worked out really well. So that was 7-4. So it is slightly higher. So that means that if we have double Manshерry, we should be able to get a little bit more healing. It should be... So 7-2, 7-4, then 7-6. Okay. So double Manshерry is better in terms of the healing. Another thing as well is that the Manshерry and Shirahoshi have slightly different attack multipliers. So with Manshерry, she boosts Striker, Free Spirit, and Cerebral, those 3 classes, by 2.75 for all characters. Shirahoshi is a little bit different. Shirahoshi is a 3 times captain to all those characters, but Shirahoshi herself as a captain will only get like a very, very minor boost. I think it's 1.2. It might even be less. I'm not really too sure. I think it is 1.2. So she really doesn't give herself a lot of an attack boost at all, but the rest of your characters on the team hit a lot harder. So when we eventually reach the boss stage, what my plan to do is to have on our burst turn, obviously because she has the shield against anything that's not Dex, we want to make sure our Dex units are hitting as hard as possible. So we want to make sure that Shirahoshi is the captain so that our units get a little bit more damage against the boss. That makes a lot of sense. We probably are still stalling a little bit too much here because we actually probably need to stall a lot on stage 6. So let's actually move on here. We actually probably don't need to be staying that much. But of course, another really cool thing with Shirahoshi and Manshерry, of course, is their amazing, unique special ability, which not only will give you a full board of matching orbs no matter what, but it also will go ahead and allow you to remove any 2 debuffs that are applied to your team by 10 turns. Now, the debuffs that you can remove only are the small icons that appear above your HP bar. If it's anything below the HP bar, like a paralysis, a despair, slotbind, their special ability will not remove that. It's only the small icons that appear above the HP bar, so like attack down, the special limiter, you can use their special to remove special limiters, like any little icon like that. So I know a lot of people were a little bit confused when I was making my video about that, but that actually explains it a lot better. Just basically any small icon above the HP bar is what their special ability is able to be used to remove. Alright, so now we reach the pudding and chiffon stage. So right here we can see we get the grates. and we perfectly easy to hit. We want to take down Chiffon as soon as possible. So let's go ahead and switch one of our units to Shirahoshi so that our Nami hits for a lot harder, and we'll go ahead and attack. And of course, Shirahoshi doesn't get that much damage output herself. We want to end on Nami. Okay, that was pretty decent damage, 800k. Not the best that I've seen, but it was decent, I suppose. And I guess let's just do the double switch once again, so we at least get a couple of matching orbs. And we can go ahead and take down Chiffon, no problem on this turn here. And then we can just take our time. But you can see that we actually have Recovery Bind. Recovery Bind is inflicted to our team here, which is really not good. So what we will do here is we can actually stall this out, and then because of the amazing healing mechanics that the captains have, once that Recovery Bind dissipates, we can just heal back all that HP, no problem whatsoever. So you have to wait one more turn, and then we can basically get our HP back. Because she's only dealing how much? Like what, 4,000? Yeah, 4,300. We heal that back, no problem. We can actually just take our time here so that we can guarantee our full HP back. We want to make sure we're at full HP at least when we reach the carrot stage. That's going to be important. Also, we're not really going to be taking damage on the next turn. I think the next turn, I believe, is the one with all the homies. So yeah, we're not really going to be taking too much damage from here on out. Our specials are also ready to go as well. So again, we don't really need to stall here. So let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. Boom. And boom. And this is also the first time I've been using this Dex VV in a while as well. She came out when V1 Big Mom and Legend Brook and Quick Whitebeard came out during the anniversary. So she's been out for a while, but yeah, I haven't really found too many circumstances where I've really needed to use her. So let's just go ahead and take down these guys. We don't actually take damage on this stage, but we do take a little bit of an effect where if they are left alive, they will shuffle our orbs around. So it's kind of annoying, but it's nice that we don't really take damage. Another thing I haven't really mentioned yet is the fact that we are using the Megalo ship, which actually on JP came out with the release of Shirahoshi Mansheri. Obviously, it makes sense because the Megalo ship is like built to be used with Shirahoshi Mansheri. It's got an ability where it can lock your orbs, so if you get the matching orbs with their special, you can lock them for multiple turns, which we will be applying if we get the Super Evolved boss. Also, the ship works depending on if your captain is Psi or Int. Shirahoshi Mansheri is Sign Int, and they give you damage reduction, an attack boost, of course. It's just a really, really good ship. So now we're on this stage right here. Now, we can see that on this specific turn that we get given attack down and a special limit. We can actually use Shirahoshi Mansheri special here to remove the attack down and the special limit completely, but I am going to save it just in case if we need the buffed captain ability on the next turn if we get the super evolved boss. So let's go ahead and move on. We will take our time with this stage. We can see we are paralyzed, which is kind of annoying, but it's not that big of a deal because I don't think she does too much damage. Let's see how much she does. Yeah, 7-1, we heal that back every single turn, so that's not a problem whatsoever. So we can just take our time, let this paralysis dissipate. We do need the Nami for the final boss stage. We get paralyzed with the preemptive attack, so we do need her on the final stage, so unfortunately we can't use it here. And this is just another thing. I just really wish that Shirahoshi Mansheri removed paralysis as well. That actually would have been super duper nice if they did that, because then I legit would just use their special here. Would have been so much nicer. Unfortunately, that's not the case though. We will actually move on as well with both of the units being Mansheri as well, because we want to switch into the Shirahoshi on the boss stage so we get the buffed abilities for our Dex units. So yeah, we're going to clear the stage with double Mansheri, and it's actually a lot easier to get through content when both of the captains are Mansheri, because you just get overall a more balanced damage output against the enemy. But yeah, Carrot really shouldn't be doing too much to us here. Yeah, I don't think Carrot does anything below any health thresholds either, so yeah, like this is just super laissez. But even if we did clear this stage and we still have attack down inflicted on our team, again, as I said, when we use the Shirahoshi Mansheri special, like that will remove it anyway, so it's really not that bad. It's nice to have that ability. But in my video where I did summon for Shirahoshi Mansheri, and I did get them, I said in my video that, you know, I would have preferred to have got VV and Rebecca, and that's just because, like understandably so, they are one of the best utility units in the game. They can remove like nearly any debuff by 10 turns, right, which is so good. But the thing is nowadays, typically, if you are an endgame player and you've been playing for a long time and you've accumulated a lot of characters, you don't literally need characters like Shirahoshi Mansheri, unless for very niche content, of course, like Garp Challenge version 6, which I will be uploading a video soon on that one. I haven't completed it yet, but I'm looking at that. But typically you're gonna have units in your character box that can already remove the debuffs anyway. So that's why I'm saying, like, Shirahoshi Mansheri is a great unit, especially for mid, early game players. For an end game player, like, they're only going to be seeing usage on very niche content. And I know some people might be triggered by that, but it's true. Like, a lot of the time you have units that you can just use that remove the debuffs anyway. I mean, look at the Jinbei Coliseum, right? When you get inflicted with all those different debuffs, a lot of teams can just get around it with other characters that they have in their character box, right? It's not really a big deal. Saying that, though, their special ability is so unique that it's always really nice to have them, right? So, anyways, let's move on now to the final boss stage against Nami. So, which boss do we get? We get the regular boss. Interesting. Okay, so we actually don't really need to worry about multiple turns of boost. We can just go ahead and spam all of our specials now, so that's really nice. So, our specials get binded. We get paralyzed as well. Oh, we don't get paralyzed. No, the special bind. That's right. Just the special bind. We want to use the Nami to unbind our characters, though, which is very important. So now what we want to do here is we want to go ahead and we're going to switch with one of our captains and then use the special ability. And then we're going to use the switch ability of the other captain so that we get guaranteed full board of rainbow orbs. The rainbow orbs doesn't really make a difference, but at this point, we could use this to lock the orbs, which is really nice. But then we're going to use this for the attack boost. We're going to go ahead and use the... well, really what we should have done is we should have used VV first. I only just realized this now, but VV cuts your health by 90%. So it's actually ideal to use the Shirahoshi Mansheri special after you use the VV special. That's if you're using this team specifically. And of course, we got the Perospero special ability as well, which will cut the health by 10%, as well as giving our Dex units color affinity, which is ridiculously useful. Because this is not the super evolved version of the boss, we're just going to use the rest of our specials anyway, just for the extra damage. But actually, let's go ahead and have a look at the special animation for Shirahoshi Mansheri. I have not seen it yet. So we got Mansheri, of course, using her healing abilities. And we got Shirahoshi as well. The largest and the smallest princess, of course. Lovely cure. There we go. So we get the healing, of course, 77k. And we're good to go. So at this point, we just want to hit perfects with all our characters and hopefully have enough damage to kill. Of course, she has the shield where only Dex damage is going to be applied. But hopefully this is enough damage to KO. So let's go ahead and do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Look at that. There we go, 9 million damage. I mean, look, as I said, it's not the most powerful captain in the game. It's not the fastest captain in the game, but it's definitely going to be easier to build teams with to get your way across the line in the content's sake. So there we go. That's the full breakdown of utilizing Shirahoshi Mansheri. It was actually pretty fun. Definitely not the fastest, as I said. I probably wouldn't be using her as a captain like much at all, if at all, to be honest. But it's just really fun to just use, you know, a brand new legend that you just pulled. So here we go. There we go. That was the rundown of utilizing Shirahoshi Mansheri. Pretty interesting character. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. And if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.